Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Woo! Good morning, Unity.
Good morning, Dave.
Okay, I know there's like a few of you here, but I can still hear you loud. Let's do it one more time, loud as you can. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Now that's what I want to hear. We're going to sing a fun song, an easy song, a good song, and you're going to love it. And you're going to stand up so we sing from our feet, not from our seat, because you know that's just what we do here. This is an old favorite, way down from Agape in Culver City back in the day. This is Spirit of God was upon me. We're going to get a little bit of a soul kind of gospel funk going on here. It's okay to dance, it's okay to sing out loud. Everybody, whoa, 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 here we go. 1, 2, here we go. Oh, come on, Spirit.
The Spirit of God is upon me.
Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, come on.
The Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh. Used to think that I had to. I used to think that I should. The scripture told me, it said, you gotta be good. But now I love cause I want to. Now I love cause I'm free. I'm blinded by the Spirit.
Say what?
Yeah. I said the Spirit of God
Everybody
is upon
sing,
me. Yes,
come on.
it is. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh,
Come,
Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh,
come on, come
the
on.
Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, play magic fingers, play.
Everybody sing, come on. Thank you. Come on.
Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh,
Come on, everybody.
the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, I used to think that I had to.
Come on.
I used to think that I should. Say the scripture told me.
What did it tell you?
It said you gotta be good.
Uh-huh.
But now I love cause I want to. Now I love cause I'm free. Said I'm blinded by the Spirit. Yeah, yeah.
Everybody,
The Spirit of
sing
God
it.
is upon me.
Come on.
Yes, it is.
Can't hear you. Come on, let's rock.
The Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh,
One more time, do it.
the Spirit of God is upon
Everybody do it
me.
again. Come on.
Oh,
Come on.
the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is
Last time,
upon
here
me.
you
Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Yes, it is.
Yeah, give it up for Soulshine.
Woohoo! Was that not amazing? Are we not so lucky around here? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome to Unity of Central Oregon, whether you are here in person or you are watching us at home because you still have a turkey hangover and you said you would eat this much this year and this was the year it was going to be better and it wasn't the year, and that's okay. We love you anyways and we're glad that you are joining us. I am your host, Rochelle Indra, and thank you. Thank you. I won't be here for Christmas this year. I will be home seeing my family and going to lots of therapy. So I just thought I would bring Christmas this morning. So that was my intent with the outfit. If you are red-green colorblind, welcome to gray season. So just know I look adorable. Let's get started with our mission statement. Dun, dun. Yes, okay, good, here we go. We stand together, global ecosystem of unity and deep wisdom and loving kindness. Yes, and loving kindness, except that you have to stand up if you can. I love that we're like, stand, loving kindness. Also, oh, am I too exciting on this mic? Oh. It's just crackly. Am I getting a little crackly? It could just be me. Okay, here we go. Also, we are a wild soul sanctuary, everyone. Oh, wonderful. I always worry that when it's people's first time and we do that, they pee a little in the seats, because that's terrifying if you've never heard it before. But we are a wild soul sanctuary, and everyone here is welcome. So thank you for joining us today. And we've started to do a new thing where we talk about having an intention for the service, for this hour, for this day, for this lifetime. And for our intention for today, I would love for it to be about being open, being receptive to the people around us, to what's happening on stage, to what's happening inside your body. And the way we do that is about relaxation. I just saw somebody take a beautiful, beautiful deep breath. Thank you so much for that. About having that moment to say, I am here in this moment, and I am ready to receive whatever's coming at me. So that is my intention for us today. It is every introvert's favorite part. Here we go. It is time to greet your neighbor. Take a second. I know, the introverts are quaking. To say hi to the neighbors around you. If you don't have a neighbor around you, too bad. Stand up, go say hi. Take another minute. Okay, wonderful. Find your seats again. This happens every single time. Oh, Dave's on something here. Okay, this happens every single time where we say, okay, we've got to go greet our neighbor. Oh, God, I've got to stand up. I've got to say hi to that person I don't know very well. And then we do it and we love it. We love getting to say hi to everybody and reminding ourselves who we're in community with. And I know that it is the first Sunday of the month. So is that what we're doing, Dave? Is that why Dave just rushed the stage?
Yeah, I was reminded yet again.
Thank you,
Richard.
Teamwork, dream work. Dave and I share one brain.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, I just use it most of the time. Welcome.
Hey, I'll take it. Do you want to switch?
Yeah. My skills aren't quite what they used to be. Did you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do some. This is the December birthday. Who here is born in the month of December? And Jane is too. Jane, our lovely minister, is also born in December. Poor Christmas babies. I feel bad for you guys, but just a little bit. We're going to sing happy birthday to all y'all December Christmas babies. Ready? Happy birthday. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Dave and I definitely couldn't be the same person because if you notice, whenever we sing, I put my mic down. So So very different skill sets there. One thing I always like to make sure that we do is appreciate the volunteers that make Sunday happen. It is so easy to appreciate the volunteers on stage that we see every Sunday, but there are so many people behind the scenes in the booth. There are the people who deal with the trash. Nobody wants to deal with the trash, but there are people that do that for us, that are out there making the food and getting things organized and doing all the things behind the scenes that it takes to make Sunday and the rest of the week work around here. So let's give them a round of applause. They never get as much kudos as they should. And when you see them around helping out, thank them again, because it can often be a thankless job and so necessary. So make sure we do that. Dun, dun, dun. I love this. It is our chair on stage. And the chair on stage represents the people that are not here with us that we wish could be. Whether that is because they over-turkeyed it and they're at home and said, I'm not going with you, whether that is because they are across the city, across the country, across the yellow brick road, which I know can be painful sometimes for us, especially this time of year when those who have crossed over are not with us. And just a reminder that they are with us and they can be with us. So feel free to place anybody you want in the chair that you just think, gosh, I want to know that their essence is with us. I want to know that they're enjoying and in this experience this morning with us. So just take a second to think of who you would like to put in that chair. And it can be animals too. Also, we would like to do our land acknowledgement. That's really important for us to remember who was here before we were here, who has been the stewards of the land before we have been, and that has been the Wasco tribes, the Warm Springs, the Klamath, and the Paiute tribes. I often always invite them, if they'd like to be a part of this, and put them in the chair as well. But it's so important for us to make sure that we are always acknowledging those who have come before us. So I like to do that. And now it is time for celebrations. And I have a special helper, the only one, the only one in the room cuter than me this morning, helping us with celebrations. So celebrations are, if you have something that you want to celebrate today and you would love us to celebrate with you, please raise your hand. We already have one right back here. Fantastic. Claire's coming to the rescue. No worries. Claire's on it. Okay, there you go.
I would like to celebrate because my sister is here. She has been far away for a long time, and I'm happy to celebrate that my sister is here, and she gets to celebrate all this energy with us.
We love that. We are celebrating that too. Excellent. Anybody else? Who else? There are celebrations. Come on, it's this time of year. Yes. Okay.
I am just celebrating Donna for putting on the Thanksgiving vegan Thanksgiving here on Thursday. And then thank you, Donna, for organizing all of that. And then on Friday, we had a wonderful leftovers potluck gathering and dance party. And so those videos will not be posted. No. But it was very fun. Thank you to all who helped organize that and set up, and huge amount of work, and came and had fun and danced our tushies off.
Woohoo! Excellent.
My name's Karen. This fall I got the opportunity to attend the Unity Church of Charlotte, North Carolina. We are so blessed. They're struggling. And last Sunday I got to go to the Center for Spiritual Living in Newport Beach, California. So yeah, very different, good experiences, and I just thought I'd share.
Wonderful, thank you. Well, I think sometimes we do forget how blessed we are in this community, for sure. Thank you for reminding us.
Hi, I have an Earth Care sustainable tip for, this is kind of a celebration of the earth, but we're gonna do another tip for the Christmas season, and that is there's nothing wrong with buying some, last week we talked about giving experiences, and this week we'll talk about if you are gonna gift, there's nothing wrong with that, but maybe think about doing something sustainable, like a thrifted, vintage, kind of do something thrifted or vintage for someone. You can do something locally made. There's so many great craftsmen here in Central Oregon that have artwork, and you can go to local shows that are handmade. You can make something for someone. If you're an artist, you can paint something. And getting sustainable brands. There's a website called The Good Trade, which has all these sustainable websites and gifts and eco lifestyle things like bags for the grocery store or compost containers. I don't know about that for a gift, but anyway. So anyway, some different, just some ideas that might, and I know children's books are really great, and you can get really nice ones at all the like Goodwills and stuff around here. So that's always a good one too. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Monica. Appreciate that. Okay, thank you. Who else? Okay, yes, celebrations.
Okay, so two celebrations. One is Suzanne Landry, who is a master chef and all of that good stuff. But she's been doing the women's group for many years, and she's done such a great job. And she really wants some more support from people. So please come see her. She's amazing. She's right there. And she might not she might not ever talk to me again. But I do want to celebrate the vegan Thanksgiving. So when you put stuff on flyer, like bring plates and dishes, and then people show up and they don't, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. It was perfect because the way we set up the table, there were exactly the right amount of people for chairs, and then Cher brought all this great nature stuff that some people were here on Friday saw. So we had the decorations, we had the people. But the greatest thing of all was that midway into it, this gentleman, elder gentleman, shows up with his granddaughter, and he was looking for a place to serve. He was looking for a church to serve on Thanksgiving. And I was like, hey, come on, sit down and eat. And he's like, no, I want to serve. It's like, no, come sit. So he told us stories. So that's the way he served. And I'm telling you right now, he was an angel. I don't think he was in the flesh. I think he was an angel that came in with his angel granddaughter and left. So that was another amazing miracle. And I'm so grateful for everybody who showed up. And the food, and the other thing, we had all the different food categories, but we didn't have dessert yet. And then somebody walked in with an enormous pecan pie. And I was like, okay, thank you. God is good.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Let's take a couple of more. Mm-hmm.
I am celebrating a new job.
Oh my gosh.
3 weeks at Whole Foods, and I absolutely love it. And I'm celebrating being here every Sunday with my dad.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And congratulations on the new job. Thank you. Okay, we have this one right here.
I'm celebrating Christmas.
Yeah, you and me both, sister. We have this one in the back there, and that's going to be our last one. Not that it has to be the last one in our hearts, but last one we have time for today.
All right. I wanted to celebrate two things. 9 years ago exactly, I made this guy.
Oh.
And on December 16th, I've been invited to participate to a solstice celebration. So about an hour and a half, 2 hours of beautiful musicians and healers that will be at the Cascade Theatrical. So I'm very excited.
Oh, congratulations. That's wonderful. Thank you.
I have a celebration too.
Go for it. We'd love to hear your celebration.
I'm going to be losing my 5th tooth.
Oh, losing your 5th tooth. Excellent. That's my greatest fear, but I'm so happy for you. Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you. Let's give her a round of applause. Was she not fantastic? So helpful. Wonderful. And speaking of fantastic children, let's invite our children up so that we can do our children's blessing and then send them on their way. Come on up. Here we go. Wonderful. Oh, the sweater is amazing. Okay, come on. Wonderful. Thank you. Excellent. Okay, we are going to do our children's blessing. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, I'll take it. We appreciate the holy gift you are. We see the divine light shining from you. May you always know what a treasure you are. May you always bring your gifts freely and fully to the world. Namaste. Okay, you guys go have a wonderful time. I know you will. We're always so jealous. I know you guys do fun stuff in there. And now we are going to move on to announcements. Let me get my announcer voice here. Sunday, as usual, we are having our sound bath here at 6 p.m. I highly recommend it. The men's group will meet tomorrow at 6 p.m. The deep dive gathering, for those who have enjoyed that on Wednesdays, it will be canceled this coming Wednesday. There's going to be a class here, so we will not be having that this coming Wednesday night. The Christ During Christmas Zoom class that Reverend Sylvia will be hosting Thursdays from 12 to 1:30 for 6 weeks. It starts December 5th. So if that is something that you are interested in, check out the website for more on that. On Saturday, we will be doing the once-a-month Women's Drum Circle here from 10 to 12. You do not have to have a drum. She has drums. Just come and enjoy. The next 2 weekends, there is a play that is going to be happening here. Some people are using the facility for a play called House of Yes. So if you like local theater and you like being able to come here at night and enjoy, you might want to check that out. And then Giving Tuesday, right? So we have Small Business Saturday, we have Cyber Monday, and then Giving Tuesday is the time of the year to be giving to nonprofits, giving to you back to your community. And we have a goal of $25,000 for 2025 to help get us ready for the next year. We already have 6,000. So we are really looking in the next month to get that up, to get that going, so that we as a community are in a good place to serve you the best we can in the upcoming new year. So lots of ways to give. You can always put your phone up and use the QR code. One thing I just realized that I forgot in the earlier announcements that I wanted to make sure that I got in there is that you can see on the back wall, there is a little QR code, and that's for people who need some hearing assistance. Probably not on days when I'm here, but on most days, very loud. But there is hearing assistance available for those who are wanting a little extra help in hearing. You can scan the QR code. It's actually just an app, and you bring your own headphones, or for a lot of people who have the newer hearing aids where it Bluetooths to newer hearing aids, that will work as well. But you can scan the QR code, download the app, and it brings a feed in directly from where Nico is sitting right to you into your headphones instead of coming through everybody's microphone and out to you. So if that is something that you are interested in, there's a QR code there, or you can talk to the lovely people in the sound booth, and they can help you with that as well. So that's just a new addition that we have that I wanted to make sure I got out to everybody. The Peru trip for May 2025. I know they talked about this last time, but this, oh my gosh, I always want to be going on this with Kevin and Claire. So I know they already talked about this, but just a reminder, check out more information. They do such a beautiful, beautiful trip. So if you have time in May and you've always wanted to go to Peru, this is the way to do it. As for all the announcements, if you're like, what did she say? She talks so fast. I don't know about this. I think there's more. There is more. So make sure that you are staying up to date on the website. That will have all the updates. We often have flyers out front with this month's happenings and to do, but there's always more and updates on the website. We try to keep that updated pretty well. So, okay, that's all for me right now. Here we go into the next song. Take it away, Dave.
shadows put to light. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Oh, come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel, shall come to thee, O Israel.
Laurel and Dave, that was amazing. Thank you guys so much for that. Where are you, Dave? There you are, hiding in the corner. We are so blessed here with this Soulshine team. How do I sound? You guys hear me okay? Yeah? All right. Sound like Nate. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? My name is Nate Hitchcock, and it is a true honor to be here with you today. If you caught the calendar today, it's December all of a sudden. There goes 2024, perhaps thankfully. But it's also the first Sunday of the month, which in the Christian calendar is known as the beginning of Advent. Any Christians here? Anybody raised Christian here? Anybody recovering from that, being raised Christian? A little bit? A little bit? Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that later. Advent is a time of deep reverence and celebration in the Christian calendar for those of the Christian faith for something known as the coming. Sounds really ominous when we say it that way, like it needs a dun, 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 right? The coming. Well, what are we talking about? What is this coming? We're talking about perhaps the most famous December birthday of them all, of a man who came to this planet who literally affected this planet so much that he altered our calendar. This one really strikes me, the fact that our calendar is based upon a single human being who came to this planet. Let's hear what the Bible has to say about this human being. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill towards men. Who are we talking about? We're talking about the man infamously known as Jesus Christ. And as we like to remind you here at Unity, that is not his true name. Christ is not his last name. Born Jeshua ben Joseph to, they'd say, the Virgin Mary and a subject of great debate. This man came forth, and I've later read in channelings of his that he was channeled through some other people. There's some great books out there. This is part of my spiritual journey, exploring the life of Jesus Christ that perhaps hasn't been altered time and time again, as it has been in the Bible, to suit the needs of the powerful. And this is another important thing we like to remind you about here, that the Bible as it's written has been refined over and over again over the years by fallible men who have perhaps agendas they weren't aware of and maybe not so aware of. But nonetheless, I think we can now say with fairly good confidence that this man did come forth and possessed miraculous powers, many miraculous powers. I don't have time, obviously, in this short 20-minute talk to go through those all in great detail, but let's just talk about a handful of them. Healing of the sick and infirm. He healed the blind. He brought sight to the blind. He healed lepers. He healed the paralyzed who would come to him unable to walk, and he'd say, Rise, and they would rise, and they would walk. He resurrected the dead, including, we're told, himself at the end of his journey. Some of the neater ones was his power over nature. And I like to think of harmony with nature is really how he was doing it. It's not power over it, but harmony with. Turning water into wine. We've all heard this many times in the Bible. A miraculous catch of fish, feeding 5,000 at a time where everybody was worried that they were all going to go hungry. Calming a storm. And this is a fun one, walking on water, right? We hear that one used over and over again as now I'm going to find you walking on water when somebody does something really cool. I'm going to find you walking on water. Well, obviously we're referring to the first instance of it that we're hearing of on this planet. Let's hear what the Gospel of Matthew has to say about that. And straightway he constrained the disciples to enter into the boat and to go before him unto the other side till he should send the multitudes away. The multitudes, as you can imagine, as he's out there performing these miracles, word's starting to get around and people are starting to show up everywhere he goes. Multitudes of people. And after he had sent the multitudes away, he went up to the mountain, into the mountain and apart to pray. And when even was come, he was there alone. But the boat was now amidst in the sea, distressed by the waves. This is the boat that he and his disciples are going to be getting on. But the boat was now in the midst of the sea, distressed by the waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night he came unto them, walking upon the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a ghost. And they cried out in fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I. Be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee upon the waters. And he said, "Come." And Peter went down from the boat and walked upon the waters to come to Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, "Lord, save me." And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand, and he took hold of him and said unto him, "O thou of little faith, wherefore doth thou doubt?" And when they were gone up into the boat, the wind ceased. Probably one of my favorite lines in the Bible. "O ye of little faith." We'll hear about that in a minute in my personal journey. I think it's safe to say that I am a seeker. Early on in life, perhaps in childhood, but definitely in early adulthood and mid-adulthood, I find myself wondering what it is that this ache here was about, that I could not fill with the usual things that the world was telling me I should fill it with. Material possessions, cars, houses, fame, fortune, college degrees, beautiful wife, beautiful daughter. These things were not filling that void. And so out I go to seek a solution to this void. The drugs didn't work, the alcohol didn't work, none of the softball championships worked. The beautiful car, the beautiful house, we talked about those didn't work. The career, which brought me fame and fortune, didn't work. So out I go. And recently, on this seeking journey, an important book came into my life, which is why we're having this conversation about miracles today, called Autobiography of a Yogi. In the Bible, we're talking about a man who lived roughly 2,000 years ago. As growing up listening to these stories as a kid, they held very little interest to me on any more than a story level. Quite frankly, at the end of these stories, in my mind, the voice is saying, "I'm calling bullshit." Right? Because I look around me and this is impossible. These things that are happening in this Bible are impossible. As I look around me in this material world where the greatest thing we have is the television, perhaps. So, perhaps some of you have that similar situation happening inside of you, that these stories that are in the Bible are like, yeah, they're just symbols, they're just analogy, they're just things to sort of bring us back to God a little bit. But they're not real. Let's talk about some stuff that's hard to argue that isn't real in this sense. Autobiography of Yogi. Anybody have read that? I'm in the right place. Ironically, this book showed up in my life much earlier than it did, which is several months ago. It showed up into my life again. At my dinner table at my parents' house. We were there for a visit, and my mom has recently found this book and has recently found the organization that Yogananda, who is the author of this book, has started, the Self-Realization Fellowship. And although I was definitely in my seeking journey, I was also, 10 minutes in already. My wife is keeping me on pace here, which is going to be the biggest miracle of all today. But I was also still torn in some family dynamics of separation, of distrust, and I feel really bad about this, but we sort of all brushed this off, what my mom was going through with this book and this renewal of her faith in God. She's raised Lutheran and obviously had her own challenges with it. And it interests me today now that this book comes back into my life, and I have this reverence for my mom and what she brought into my life, and I didn't even know it at the time. And you'll see that in your life, that things will come in and you won't even see them. They'll be there for years, decades even. And all of a sudden one day, they're important to you in ways you could never have imagined. So this book was written in 1946. So we're talking about some recent history here. We're not talking about 2,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago. We're not talking about a whole nother time and place. Yogananda was born Mukunda Laghosh in January 5th, 1893. He lived till 1952. He's known as the father of yoga in the West. In this book, and it's a fantastic reading, I highly recommend it for anybody who considers themselves a seeker, who are looking to get a little bit closer to God. It is just one miracle after another. As I was doing some research on this book on the internet, one person, interestingly enough, he was actually criticizing it, said it's about one miracle per page. A bit of an exaggeration, but close. And I'm reading this book. I'm actually listening to this book, and I highly recommend doing that. What's his name, babe? Kingsley? Yes. The author? Yes. Ben Kingsley, Audible. Ben Kingsley is narrating this book, and if you're familiar with it, it is the most beautifully read, obviously it's a beautifully written book, but Ben Kingsley really brings it to life with his amazing voice. In this book, we learn about all sorts of modern-day yogis who are doing all sorts of incredible, miraculous things, such as Swami Pranabhananda. And forgive me here, I'm going to try some of these names out. This is the saint with two bodies. And Yogananda talks about a time when he's a young boy and his father sends him on an errand. He wanted to go visit this town. He said, fine, I will send you to this town, but you have to do this errand for me. So he has to go visit this Swami and ask the Swami where one of his disciples is, which is the guy he actually needs to meet with. And the Swami says he's not here right now, but he's over here. But I predict that he will be here shortly. And so Yogananda goes out and eventually meets this gentleman who comes to him and says, how did you know that I was here to come? He said, I'm coming to see you. That this guy comes to him and says, I'm coming to see you. And Yogananda goes, how do you know this, that I'm here? He says, well, my guru told me. Well, how did your guru? Well, I just was walking with him 20 minutes ago. And Yogananda says, no, he's not. He's in this house right here that we're standing in front of. Clear as day. And the guy goes, no, I met him. He was wearing this, and these are his shoes, and this is it. This Swami had figured out how to be in this house and at the same time transport himself in a second body to have a conversation with his disciple and let him know that Yogananda is here to see him. We have many other saints. We have, here we go, Bhadruri Mahasaya, who is a levitating saint, who Yogananda witnessed levitating for hours on end off the ground in the lotus posture, meditating, defying the laws of gravity. Sound a little bit like walking on water? We have Ram Gopal Babu, who's the sleepless saint. For 25 years, this man has not slept 1 minute. My poor wife over here is in the throes of menopause right now and having hot flashes, right? About once an hour. Okay? So she has all these crystals. She has this sort of throne of crystals on her dresser right next to the bed. And now she's been keeping count how many times she has to get up in the middle of the night to deal with this hot flash. And it's about 6 or 7. 9 tonight? No, 9. Okay. And study after study has been done that if you deprive somebody of sleep, of REM sleep, they will slowly but surely lose their mind. The human body absolutely needs sleep, correct? But this saint is able to go day after day, year after year, for 25 years without one wink of sleep and be just fine. We have Giribala, the woman saint. This woman has eaten nothing for over 50 years, 56 of them, in fact, other than small wafers, the communion wafers. 56 years without a single morsel of food or thing to drink, and she's still alive. And these are documented human beings. I'm not talking about fantastical stories that were written and rewritten to serve the purposes of humans, of man, and power. We're talking about documented occurrences by saints in India. 56 years without eating a thing, and she's doing fine. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Our bodies are fed by something significantly different than food and water. if we really open our eyes to see it. And then we have, let's get out of the yogi tradition, we have Therese Newman. This woman's in Germany. I don't know if she's still alive. I suspect she probably is not. She's the Catholic stigmatist. Every Friday for 20-something years, at the time that this book was written, by the way, that 56 was the time that this book was written, she bleeds the stigmata, the wounds of Jesus Christ, the hands and the ribs and the crown of thorns. Every Friday she bleeds. And this woman also, for 2.5 decades, had never eaten a thing other than a communion wafer. Documented human beings, genuine miracles here on earth. The book is filled with all sorts of stories of quote-unquote coincidences where things came together in perfect order for him to achieve what he needed to achieve. He managed to graduate from high school, never going to high school, never going to those classes because he thought this school thing was silly. All he wanted to do was commune with God, to spend time with his guru and his master. He managed to graduate college in the same fashion when he went to study for his finals for classes that he had never attended because he was busy hanging out with his guru. The knowledge miraculously would come to him in a book that was left open on the ground, or papers that fell on the floor, or a tutor that would come to him and say, I'm pretty sure this is what you're going to need to know. And everybody in the room is going, nah, he's wrong. There's no way that's going to be on the test. And sure as heck, those things would be on the test, and he passed these courses. He graduated from college without actually attending college. Divine wisdom coming down. Well, let's go further than perhaps just this book. Ram Dass, a relatively recent prophet. Our own Carol has met him and had a miraculous experience, yes. She can attest to this. One of my favorite stories of a miracle in his book, Be Here Now, was his guru, Maharaji, talking to him about LSD. This is how Ram Dass found God, is through LSD, acid. Anybody familiar with that? Yeah, okay. Still on my to-do list. Someday, perhaps. So they're having this discussion. I won't go into the background of it, but Ram Dass is Indian and has some LSD with him, and he's having some challenges with this. What is this LSD thing doing for me? Am I actually communing with God? Is it something different? And Maharaji goes, well, what? Okay, do you have this medicine with you? Yes. And he goes, well, give it to me. And he gives him this packet, and there's some sleeping pills and some anti-diarrhea stuff and other things in there, and he takes just the things. And so there's 4 pills in there, if I'm remembering correctly. These are 300 microgram doses of LSD, and apparently 300, I don't know this, but 300 micrograms of LSD will send your full-grown adult into absolute oblivion. Okay, your practice LSD user into oblivion. And Maharaji takes not one, but all 4 of them, pops them in his mouth, and Ram Dass is like, oh crap, what's going to happen here? No effect whatsoever on the Maharaji. No effect whatsoever. And he talks about that later in a follow-up interview, that the Maharaji is really about keeping your heart centered and your mind centered on God while going through this to avoid this impact of that. I also promised you we get closer to home. We talked about, we're 15? We're already at 20? Jeez Louise. We talked about Carol's in-house miracle, and it has been a real gift preparing for this because I've got to go down memory lane and go through all the miracles that have come up in my life that I've let fall by the wayside as the waves of life crash on my shore, and I forget about them. And one of them was an important time in my life. This is pre-COVID, and if you don't know, I've been through very difficult times, very difficult years, suffering with severe depression, suicidal depression, trying to come to terms with the life that had been hoisted upon me when I chose to abandon all that fame and fortune that wasn't filling this hole and try a different approach to life. And it was a very painful shift, a very painful identity crisis. And this depression lasted for years. And in the middle of this, at one phase, I I had a time where I was actually having somewhat open conversations with God. They felt a little bit perhaps imaginary, but some miraculous things were happening. And I'm like, God, I get it, but I'm going to need some more proof. I'm going to need some greater evidence. And I'll tell you what, God, how about a burning bush? We're familiar with the burning bush story in the Bible? Who talked to the burning bush? Who's my Bible studies here? Moses. Okay, thank you. That shows you how much attention I was paying. Raised in the Lutheran church. I'm sorry, Dad. I love you. He's watching. How about a burning bush? That one, I will, thank you, God, I will believe you at this point. If you come to me in the form of a burning bush and we can have a conversation. I forget about this dare, this challenge I issue to God, and the next day I have to take the car into the mechanic for basic repairs. And this mechanic's not too far from our house that we're living at in time here in Bend. And you get to walk, it's just on the edge of our neighborhood on Empire. And I drop the car off the mechanic, and I always walk home from this. It's less than a mile. It's silly to take a ride from the mechanic or have one of my family members come drive me. I like to walk. And so I'm walking, and as the case is with Ben, streets change quickly and often, correct? All of a sudden, boom, there's a new neighborhood. Holy crap, then there's a new street. And this is the situation I'm in. This new housing development had opened up, and somehow I found myself in it. I'm like, where did I end up here? I wanted to take this. I thought I was going to end up over here, but I ended up over here. So I hang a left, and I don't quite know where I am, but I'm just heading in a general direction. I'm sure I'll find it, my home. And I'm walking past this row of houses, and I had forgotten about the dare. And up ahead, on the right-hand side, there's smoke coming up out of this bush. This is the middle of the day. It's a warm summer day here in Bend. There's a slight breeze. More smoke, and then the dare pops into my head. I'm like, what the F? And this bush in front of this house, it's just smoldering. I'm like, uh-oh. I get closer, and I get closer, and I get closer to find that, okay, here's where the wheels start to fall off the miraculous cart, perhaps, if you want to be a doubter. This bush is not actually on fire. It's the ground underneath it that's on fire. The mulch underneath it had been set ablaze somehow, and we never did find out how. I'm going to call it a miracle. And so this mulch, this black bark mulch has been set ablaze in the wind, so the hot dry breeze in Bend is sort of fanning the flames of this, and it's coming up. And I go, oh boy, call the fire department. They come, in about 30 seconds, the guy is there. I'm like, woo, he's like, yeah, I was around the corner in a truck, and he just grabs the hose and he puts it out, and I'm like, what's going on here, sir? And he's like, well, this time of year, this happens occasionally. Yeah, spark of a cigarette. Perhaps set it on fire, but who knows? There's no cigarettes anywhere to be found, anywhere in the vicinity. This bush is on fire, figuratively speaking, so to speak. The ground underneath it is definitely on fire. I put my hand in it, and it was definitely a hot flame. The doubter can say, it's just the ground on fire. But the seeker says, less than 24 hours ago, I issued a challenge. I said, God, how about a burning bush? He got about 90% of it, right? Interestingly enough, within a couple weeks, that is completely out of my purview. I've forgotten all about it. It's like it didn't have the impact on me that I thought it would, right? It's just another thing. Preparing for this talk has been exponentially more powerful because I've gone through my life to look at all these little miracles that have transpired along the way. And the last 2 weeks, I've just been basking in the sense of being blessed to be here in this lifetime on this planet. And I think about all the crazy little miracles, perhaps, that aren't quite these big burning bush miracles, but they're just little ones, like the time I won the lottery. Won the lottery, a little miracle, you say. Okay, it wasn't that lottery. This is college. Freshman year, your roommates are picked by lottery. And so lottery picked a roommate for me. His name was Shane. I love you, brother. Turned immediately into my college best friend. Immediately. We did not separate for 4 years. Well, several more after that. But that's not really the best part of that miracle. The real part of that miracle is that this friend of mine dated this young girl who had this best friend. I won the lottery. Yes? Yes, I won the lottery. And then there's even tinier ones than that. Waking up at Lake Paulina. Anybody ever camped at Lake Paulina? On an October morning in our camp trailer. Opening the door, and there's an inch of snow over everything. Everything's pure white. It is quiet as can be. There's maybe 3 or 4 other campers there with us at this amazing lake in the mouth of a volcano, 4,500 feet up in the air. To stand on the edge of the Pacific Ocean and watch the sunset and the sky alights, orange and purples and blues. To lay back as a child in Yosemite Valley and to look up at the edge of the river, to look up in the night sky and see so many stars that the city boy had never seen before, and to sit there and go, oh my goodness, I wonder where it stops. And to just spend the next 10 minutes trying to figure out where the end of the universe is. These little miracles. And as I've gone through this lifetime of mine, looking at all these miracles, you start to realize that every moment of every day, every minute of every hour of every day of every year, is a miracle. The fact that we all got up this morning and made it down here today is a miracle. The fact that we can now cross Highway 20 here, right? Anybody live on the other side or go to the other side of that? Is that not a miracle? Yeah. To not have to do that mad dash across 4 lanes of 60 miles an hour traffic? These little miracles. So I'm going to end this with a quote from Alan Watts. Any Alan Watts fans in the house? There's a great one to dial up on Audible. And you don't need Ben Kingsley to read him for you. He can do it himself just fine. Talking about the light of Christ. Some people will use a symbolism of the relationship of God to the universe, where God is a brilliant light, only somehow veiled, hiding underneath all these forms that you see as you look around you. But the truth is funnier than that. It is that you are looking right at the brilliant light now. That experience that you are having, that you call everyday, ordinary consciousness, pretending that you're not it, that experience is exactly the same thing as it. There's no difference at all. And when you find that out, you laugh yourself silly. That's the great discovery. In other words, when you really start to see things, and you look at an old paper cup, and you go into the nature of what it is to see, what vision is, or what smell is, or what touch is, you realize that vision of the paper cup is the brilliant light of the cosmos. The brilliant light of the cosmos, right here. Nothing could be brighter. 10,000 suns couldn't be brighter. 10,000 suns in my very hand right here in the form of this paper cup. Every atom in here is as important as any atom in the universe. Every atom inside of here is important as any atom in the universe. The brilliant light of God right here in you, in all of us, together in this building this morning. That is the miracle. Thank you.
It's not that unusual when everything is beautiful. It's just another ordinary miracle today. The sky knows when it's time to snow. Don't need to teach a seed to grow. It's just another ordinary miracle today. Life is like a gift, they say, wrapped up for you every day. Open up and find a way to give some of your own. Isn't it remarkable? Like every time a raindrop falls, it's just another ordinary miracle today. Birds in winter have their fling, but always make it home by spring. It's just another ordinary miracle today. When you wake up every day, please don't throw your dreams away. Hold them close to your heart, 'cause we are all a part of the ordinary miracle. Ordinary miracle. Do you want to see a miracle? It seems so exceptional that things just work out after all. It's just another ordinary miracle today. Sun comes up and shines so bright and disappears again at night. It's just another ordinary miracle today. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's just another ordinary miracle today.
So it's time for prayer. Waiting on a miracle here. The way we pray here at Unity is really, it's all about faith and miracles, really. It's about where are we putting our faith? Is it in the circumstances in front of us that seem to be so overwhelming? Or is it in the spiritual plane? Are we claiming that miracles are here already? Are we claiming that whatever it is that we think we need that is not here really is here, really is in us? So as we think about prayer right now, whatever it is that you're looking for, claim it. It's here now. It's part of the all. It's not outside of you. You don't have to wait for a miracle to come from an outside source. You have to change the way that you see. And that's what we're doing in our prayer. So there are green forms in the seat pocket in front of you. And there's also a QR code, which I highly recommend if you don't have good penmanship, or you just want to save some paper. Either way, just click on that with your phone and put into writing what you are claiming. Studies have shown that when we write things down, they become more real because we are taking them from the heaven of mind to the earth of material reality. So if the thing that you want to claim isn't all that important with you, you can skip this step. But if it matters, if this is something that you feel called to bring from just thinking about it into form, write it down. We're going to give you time to do that. Use your faith. Claim. It's here already, what you want to see. You are the miracle mechanism. You are bringing heaven to earth through the power of your intention and by knowing who you are. Divine light in expression. Call it in. Claim it now. And as you're writing, see it. See it as real. It's not impossible. If a guru can be in more places at one time than one in this material world, if a bush can catch on fire because some guy is daring God, maybe peace can happen on earth. Maybe there can be a loving partner in your life. Maybe there can be harmony in your family. Maybe everyone can have enough to eat. Maybe there's nothing that's impossible if we can only see it and know that it doesn't come from earth to heaven, but the other way. The heaven, the expansion of our mind, is creating now. And we are the miracle makers who bring it to earth through the prayer of knowing, the prayer of faith. prayer of intention. We claim all of this, and we seal it with gratitude. We are so grateful. Place your hand on your heart and feel it's real, this that we are claiming. It is already done, on earth as in heaven, and so it is.
Let's sing the prayer song.
Breathe in and know I am. Be still and know I am. Let go and know I am. I breathe in and know I am. Be still and know I am. Let go and know I
Thank you, Soulshine. Appreciate that. Thank you. I want to know who else is struggling with menopause. Anybody? Yeah, okay, good. Just get a highlight of those people there. Nate, thank you so much. There you go. There you go. It's all welcome here. It's all welcome here. I just want to say thank you, Nate, so much. I mean, I just adore you, and I'm so grateful, and I know we are all so grateful for your vulnerable share that you give to us, right? Thank you. It's amazing how much hearing other people's stories and what other people have gone through or are going through really helps us realize that we're not alone and that we're all one. So that means the world to me and obviously to everybody else. So thank you for always sharing with us and for reminding us that miracles are everywhere. Because at this time of year, it's so easy to think of miracles as already happened or outside ourselves or for other people, but just reminding us that they're there with us always. So thank you. Thank you for that. Again, thanks, Nate. Now is our time to see if there's anybody, I know this can be terrifying, but if there's anybody who's here for the first time and wouldn't mind standing up, you don't have to, and sharing where you're visiting us from, if there's any brave souls out there, or if you've been here 1,700 times and never said anything, never introduced yourselves, that's also the time now. Is there anybody? Brave souls, we don't bite. Anybody here for the first time? Okay. Oh, yes, brave soul, yeah, I love it, yes. Will you just tell us where you're visiting us from and your name?
My name's Mary, and I'm visiting from Sisters. It takes me 12 minutes to get here, so that's nice. And I've just been looking for a local spiritual community. I have one in Ashland, but it's hard to get there all the time and make community of it. And so I was raised Episcopal. My dad was a minister, and actually it was a liberal Episcopal church. It was good, but I've run into a lot of different Christian places that I don't believe there's only one path. So I'm really glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're so happy to have you here. And we are a little bit closer than Ashlyn, so thank you for visiting us. Did she inspire anybody else? Anybody else want to raise their hand that they're here for the first time? Okay. If you are here for the first time, we do ask if you are interested in the back of, dun, 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 Claire's holding it up. There are blue cards in the back of your seat pocket. We would love for you to put that into the offering basket. If you want to find out more about the things that we are doing in this community, we have so much going on all the time. It's a way to stay connected and for you to know all the wonderful things that we are offering. So feel free to just drop that in the basket. And speaking of the baskets, it is time for offerings. So come on down. Here we are. And there's lots of ways to give your offering. You can text to this phone number. You can I'm putting a check. I still have these. I don't know why, but I still have got those things in my closet. So we take cash, check, like I said, text messages. There's a QR code there. A lot of people do it monthly. We welcome that as well. Lots of ways to give this season. So take it away. Thank you guys so much. All right, here we go. My favorite song.
I got gratitude in my heart. I got gratitude in my soul. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you. And thank you. I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all. I got gratitude in my heart. Gratitude in my soul. In my soul, baby. I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. Merci beaucoup. I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all.
Our offering. From the love of pure spirit within us, we bless these gifts. We send them forth to heal, bless, and prosper. They are evidence of our faith and belief. They do good work in the world and return to us multiplied abundantly, and so it is. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Speaking of our wonderful volunteers, we are now going to do our prayer of intention. And our prayer of intention is about how we take this feeling we have now in community, this feeling that we have together, and how do we take it out into the rest of our day, into the rest of our week. It can be so easy to feel so good and held in this space, and then leave the parking lot into the Sunday morning Costco crowd and lose everything that we have just cultivated in ourselves right now. So our prayer of intention is about keeping that with us. So here we go. Holy light shines within and all around me, a presence of love that is always there. I am that presence. I am a radiant field of love energy. I am holy light. My essence cradles and guides me. I am a gift to this world. I go forth from here in joy to bless the world with my loving light. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Sunday. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Soulshine.
Whoa, yeah, yeah. I got gratitude in my heart. I got gratitude in my soul. In my soul, baby. I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you.
Have a great week.
I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it.